Hi, everybody. My name is Benjamin Tan. So I'm very honored to be invited by 99.co to share this topic with everyone, the property market in Singapore. So first and foremost, I want to thank 99.co for giving me this opportunity to spend the next 20 minutes or so. I have less than 30 slides. So to have a very short and interesting overview of the market right now. So the agenda is very simple. We'll just take a look at the current situation in the property market, possible trends. So I'm not going to be a fortune teller or try to predict a trend, but based on what data we have to correctly and accurately predict an upcoming trend accurately. And also where to fish. So where to fish also means where do we find our clients and how do we engage them, okay, to serve their needs better. So the first chart that we all need to know is the property price index. So as you can see right now, at first quarter 2022, we are actually at the highest point. Okay, since 1997 until now, we have never reached such a high point. So this is the highest point that we are experiencing. But at the same time, from this chart, we also will know that the common saying, the next high is always higher than the previous high. The next low is always higher than the previous low. So up and down. Right now, we are here at this juncture. And overall, in year 2021, the private property price index, right, okay, increased by 10%, landed properties 13%. One interesting point to note that the RCR market, the RCR segment actually increased the most, 16%. So if anybody has bought a property in the RCR market, right, they have made a very significant gain, right? Even more than landed. So that's something quite interesting. So on the overall, right, all properties have increased by an average of about 10%. So on this right-hand column, right, we can also see the first quarter 2022, we are seeing the prices, right, stabilizing. Okay, stabilizing plus minus over 0.7%. And then, of course, last year, 2021 was a very, very healthy market. And then there's a lot of transactions. So the volume, okay, has been tremendously high. So we are talking about total about 13,000 units being sold, right, in the OCR, RCR, and CCR market, right? So it has been a very, very good year last year. And of course, the overall, if you divide the new sales and the resale also did very well, right? The resale also did very, very well. So I would say that last year, right, was a year whereby a lot of resale owners managed to be able to sell off their property with a very decent profit. So in fact, prices have been quite stable. I would say quite down for many years since 2013 to 2014, right? All the way up to 2020, and of course last year. So a lot of owners that tried to sell their property somewhere in 2015, 2017 will realize that they actually might incur a negative sale, or we should say a CPF loss, right? They could even have sold their property lesser than what they have bought for. And therefore, the last 2 years was a very good chance for them to offload their liabilities or cash out their properties with a profit instead of a loss. So therefore, you can see everyone in last year, 2021, has managed to sell their properties. So we have a very high volume, which also brings to this year. So this year, because of the high volume last year, right? This year, actually, there is not that many stocks left in the market. Whatever is sold, already sold. Whatever is coming, is not fast enough to meet the high demand. So as you can see, right, in 2017, we have many en blocks. All the popular ones like Normanton Park or even the old, a lot of mega developments have been en bloc. So therefore, we have our Florence residences, we have our Park Esta, we have our Treasures at Tampines, all are from en bloc land, right? So, and then the stock went up. So right now, we collectively, right, we have all sold very well in the last couple of years. So today we are also at a very low point, and therefore we are seeing a lot of en blocs coming back again. Of course, the latest one will be the Lakeside apartment, right? Okay, that's successfully being en bloc. And therefore, because we sell quite a lot in the last few years, the stock has came down. So right now, as of first quarter 2022, we have about 14,000 units. And if you were to separate into CCR, RCR, and OCR, okay, CCR by far has the most number of stocks or available units for sale at this very moment. Okay, of course, then right now we have new launches coming in. We have potential en blocs ongoing, successful. And then hopefully we'll go back to the time in 2017 whereby there are a lot of en bloc unit and a lot of GLS, and we start to replenish our stocks, okay, to the very, very healthy level. So right now, 14,000 is very low. Okay, we have successfully sold off quite a significant number of units. And let's take a look at the HDB resale prices. So as I just mentioned, right, for a long time, if you look at year 2013 till somewhere in year 2019, so these were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of a negative growth, right? Prices have been very, very depressed. So for owners that have bought their properties or HDB somewhere in year 2012, and if they got their MOP somewhere in year 2017 resale, okay, they might be sitting on a negative sale, and therefore they have to wait until somewhere in 2020 and of course last year, okay, before they can see a decent profit. So last year has been a very, very good year for HDB owners to upgrade, right? So, and therefore, when they upgrade, right, a lot of owners also want to buy a resale private property instead of buying a new launch. Because new launch, why? Because of the pandemic, they need to wait for a long time, 4 to 6 years sometimes. So a lot of decoupling has been done, right? The HDB, after they sell, maybe the husband will buy one for own stay, the wife will buy one for investment, right? And therefore, the private property market also experienced a very upswing because the HDB market, the owners are able to sell off with a very decent profit, use the cash profit and the CPF to reinvest into one new launch and one resale condo for own stay. So therefore, the whole cycle of replenishing, of buying and selling is very, very, very healthy. So what happened in the last couple of years is because a lot of owners are not able to sell their HDB with a profit, and therefore the upgrading process was always delayed, or I would say there's not that push factor to sell off a HDB with a loss and then still upgrade to a condo. And last year was definitely a very good year to do that. And then we can see the HDB, right, over the last so many years, right, has recovered to this point. So right now, HDB, $1 million HDB is very common nowadays. Okay, many years ago, buyers that buy $1 million HDB was once in many months, but now it's like almost every other day there's $1 million HDB being sold. So it's very common right now. And of course, the volume has went up last year, and this year, hopefully, it will still be healthy. But I think last year is a year that is quite hard to beat. It's going to be it's a fantastic year. The volume has been very high. So after looking at the current situation, let's look at some possible trends. So possible trends, okay, landed properties demand way outstrip supply, right? A lot of people are able to sell off their HDB, sell off their resale condo, and because they are sitting on a very decent 6-figure, some even 7-figure profit, they are able to upgrade to a landed property, right? This is like it's a highly sought after segment. But although the landed property prices have went up significantly, but because of the cash profit from their existing houses, they are still able to make an upgrade. So therefore, the demand will outstrip supply. Next up, the resale private residential will continue to sell fast. A lot of people still want to upgrade, or they want to shift a location, right? Nearer to school, nearer to amenities, or from a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. So there's still a lot of real upgrader end user demand. And of course, HDB resale will continue to sell fast. Rental properties, therefore, red hot, right? Red hot means what? A unit that's being listed today will have probably 10 to 20 offers, and the unit will definitely be rented out within 1 day, as long as the landlord is not too choosy. But of course, they still can choose, because why? You probably have 10 tenants expressing their interest, okay, the first day that we list the property. So the rental is very hot. And new launch condos, we all know this year the stocks is not that high, and it's not sufficient to satisfy everybody. So where to fish? So where do we meet our customers? Where do we meet the market that will have a lot of transaction, right? So I like to use this analogy, all right, because I like to go fishing. In the world of fishing, right, sports angling, we don't anyhow cast our line and hope that the fish will bite. We use a device called the fish finder, right, to accurately and scientifically or technologically locate where the fishes are. And of course, then you look at the tide, you look at the time, you look at the weather, the moon. There's so many factors affecting. So it's not just one factor to affecting the market. We need to look at where the buyers and sellers are. We want to look at where the market are, so that we want to put ourselves in that location. We want to put ourselves in that market to serve that community, so that we can still do as well as we do last year. So of course, everybody knows the durian season is coming. So of course, in Penang, the season has already started. In Johor is starting, and in Pahang it's going to be next month. So I just found on the internet, right? So for any specific durian, there is a more or less the date where they will be harvested, right? So this is a timetable. So for us real estate salespeople, we also need to follow a timetable. There's also a season to do the right thing at the right time, right? The key word here is doing the right thing at the right time. So if you want to eat durian, you eat durian next month and the next 2 months. So that's the season. So now at this very moment, what is the season? Where should we be doing what we should be doing? That's the key thing. Landed properties. Of course, if you want to go into the landed property segment, a lot of good listings will sell. In fact, any good listing will have some kind of a bidding by buyers. So I myself have been into a bidding for landed properties. Is very crazy. If the owner asks for 10 million, chances are the property will sell at 10 million or more. Nowadays, it's quite difficult to negotiate from significantly from the asking price of the owner, especially during 2 or more bidders from buyers, interested parties. So for any buyers that really want to secure a prime plot of land or landed property, we have to give the seller what they want or even more. Okay. So owners want record prices, but the key thing here is what? Buyers are willing to pay, right? Owners want record price, but buyers are willing to pay. But if owners want record price and buyers are not willing to pay, so that is different. That's different. Today, if you have a listing, the owner want a record price, buyers will pay, right? Provided the listing is a decent unit, because landed there's so many things to take note. So the key thing is what? More buyers than houses. So today, if we want to be in this segment, there's only one game that we need to play, which is this phrase: listing is the name of the game. So 17 years ago, when I first joined the industry in year 2005, right? Back then, we were in this era. This era is called listing is the name of the game. So we were encouraged to go out there and get exclusive, whether is it condo or HDB. And then when we have a listing, we will have the buyer. If the buyer managed to buy our house, good, we have a secured transaction. If the buyer didn't manage to buy the house, we can also serve this buyer to another property, right? So if you have a listing, you have a buyer, right? But if you have a buyer, you may not be able to close a a house because there's just not enough houses enough. So therefore, today, if we want to be in this segment, we really need to prospect for properties. We need to really go and prospect for the property for sale. But the key thing here is getting listing regularly, and it's not that easy because why? A lot of landed properties today, the price point is getting higher. So 5 million, 8 million, 10 million, or even more, is quite normal. And when we are in the region of $10 million landed properties, the profile of people that we work with are very different. So we need to go through a lot of, most of the time is through a lot of referral. Of course, the normal prospecting methods still work, but a lot of word of mouth, a lot of referral is important. So networking is important. So of course, I believe if we want to do well in landed properties, we need to have a lot of networking. We need to prospect, farm, or even door knock regularly, get yourself seen. They probably have to be able to see you, your presence, right? Or through a word of mouth before they will seek your service. So for the resale private properties and HDB, right, I lump them together because I think they are quite similar for the own stay resale property and HDB. Post-COVID, a lot of people want to change their environment, right? They might want one more room. They might need a study room. They might prefer a house with a big balcony. A few years ago, people don't like big balcony. Today, a lot of people like big balcony, right? Because you have fresh air, you are able to work there and enjoy a good view. You know, it's better to work a whole day at home with a balcony than without a balcony, for example. Or the kids has grown up and they need to stay near a school and things like that. So there's a lot of genuine demand. And the key thing here is genuine demand is one thing. A lot of them, in fact, if you were to look at the price index that shared in the first few slides, right? It is almost certain that anyone that sells today should make a profit. Okay, I won't say at 100%, but almost 99% should make a profit, a very decent profit, right? Or in fact, anybody that has bought a new launch property in the last 2 or 3 years, today, once they collect their keys, they can sell for a 6-figure profit, or even resale property for that matter. So because they have a decent profit, they are able to upgrade. They are able to make a switch without digging into their bank account, okay, for that down payment for the next house. They can use all the profits, cash and CPF from the existing house to the next house, even though the next house is also more expensive. Doesn't matter because they also have a bigger profit to shift. Imagine a few years ago, when they sell their house, they have a negative sale. Okay, they lose CPF and they have no cash. For them to shift, right, to a house that's twice as expensive, right, they have to go into their bank account, right, and utilize all their savings if they have, right. If they don't have, then they cannot even make the transition. So it's very painful. Now they can, and therefore, this year the resale market for HDB and private will still be very, very healthy. So of course, consistent prospecting is the key. Networking is also very important. So we prospect for the cold market, but don't forget the networking on the warm market. Our friends, our colleagues, our relatives, our club, and then all the networking that we need to do, we have to do, because we have to put ourselves into the community to share with them that I'm here to serve them. Well-priced properties will be sold fast. Okay. What about overpriced property? Overpriced property will still be sold, but they need to wait for their time. Right now, it's on a bull market, the way up. It will take some time. So as long as we can price the property correctly, it will be sold fast. Which also means what? If it's sold fast, we have lesser advertisement costs. We also conduct lesser viewing. So every house today, right, if we are able to sell it within 1 week or 1 month, the turnover is very fast. So this is a segment that I feel that all real estate agents, right, should be invested in. Why? Because it's a good investment, right? You invest your time and money in this segment. The property turnover is very fast. You don't waste, we don't need to talk about too long ago. Just 3-4 years ago, one HDB can be can be on the market for 3 months, 6 months, and we still cannot sell the properties. Remember those times? So today is very different. The property can be on the market for just 1 week and it can be sold, or maybe even less than that. So it's worthwhile to invest your time and your money into this segment. Rental, almost immediate closing upon listing. Almost immediate, because why? It's up to the landlord to pick and choose. So the time is not wasted. It's not on viewings or even on the marketing. It's the time wasted is actually to choose which tenant to take up to lease the unit. So almost immediate. Okay, landlord choose tenant. And also said, therefore, listing is the name of the game. Today, if you were to serve the tenant, it's going to be quite tough. It's going to be quite challenging, right? Because the listings go away so fast. So we need to be a lister, right? So new launch condo, no mega development, right? All those that I mentioned just now, Normanton Park, Park Clementes, Treasures, Florence, everything is all gone, right? We have all very smaller ones, right? Instead of 1,000 over units, now we have 100 over units, which also means what? It also means that last time we can spend, let's say, 3 days to learn how to sell this project. Every single step, layout, facing, unique selling angle, amenities, CMA. We spend 3 days, to really understand this project. We have 1,000 units to sell. We have mileage. Today, we still need to spend the same 3 days to learn, because a project is a project. Layout can also have many layouts. Even for a small condo, there's also different layout. You also need to understand the CMA. You also need to do prospecting. You also need to run ads. Okay, doesn't mean a 1,000 units condo you spend lesser money. You run an ad campaign for 100 units condo, you also spend the same amount of money, right? But the returns could be lesser because you just don't have mileage, right? So a lot of time could be spent on PPC, Facebook, and a lot of prospecting. 100 units condo, 800 checks, right? So a lot of time is based on luck. It's not even about competency. It's about just pure luck and hope that the buyer is the queue number 20 or 50 and below. Anything more than 300-400, right, is all quite difficult to close them. So there's a lot of disappointed buyers. So if you still want to do the new launch as in the brand new launches, you need to have a mindset of what? Okay, I'm going to prospect. If my buyers can successfully buy this condo, good, I'm lucky. If I cannot, what I need to do is what? I need to still treat this client as a client that I can continue to serve them, okay, for whatever is their property needs, whether they want to buy another condo or whether they have another unit for me to sell, or they want to rent. This is a database that we have collected. So if you don't have this mindset, then we'll always be disappointed, right? So how to fish? So this is my suggestion. Of course, please work back with your team leader and your managers to work out a plan for you, right? Because I'm not so sure where you are right now in your career. So this is just my suggestion, right? To penetrate the MOP EC, right? Why MOP EC? Because a lot of them, right? If you look at the ECs that MOP this year and next year, a lot of them bought around $700-800 per square foot, right? Today, they can sell at $1,001 to $1,002 plus per square foot. So that's a very decent $400 per square foot appreciation. Which means, right, if they were to buy a 3-bedroom, 1,000 square feet, they are sitting on potentially 300,000 or even more profit. So that's a very big, huge push factor. And of course, all of them can only sell during MOP, okay? Or they can rent during MOP. So it's like all the fishes gathering at one point, okay? And we have to go and serve them because they're all sitting on profit, ready to go out there to switch their portfolio for whatever reason. Same for HDB, right? MOP HDB, because why? They buy the HDB. Same thing. They wait for the BTO 3-4 years, and then they MOP for 5 years. So they are there for 8 to even up to 10 years. right? So what happens? Their buying reason 10 years ago, 8 years ago, and now could change drastically. 8 years ago, they might be just a couple, but now they have 3 kids. So they need a bigger place. Or their 3 kids already enroll into schools. So they want a change of environment. So a lot of HDB owners will decide, okay, to sell during this period because it's like a delayed decision for 8 years. TOB projects for private properties. Same thing, they collect their keys today. Anyone that bought a property since year 2017, 18, 19 should make a very decent profit. Even if they want to rent out, today is a good time to rent out. The rental is very good. So I strongly encourage everyone to invest your time and money into MOP EC, MOP HDB, and TOB projects because there's a huge gathering of fishes here. So therefore, the fish finder down here is all red, all fishes. The fish finder, all red, all fishes. So we have to go there and fish. Very simple. Right? Motivated by high 6 figures profit. Why I say high 6 figures? I just quote an example. Just take Whistler Grand as an example. In the West, right? No MRT, no Sheng Siong, no nothing, right? The smallest 1 bedroom is 441 square feet. The owner that sells today will be earning at least 150,000 cash. So it's a very high profit, right, for a 1 bedroom. So a lot of TOP projects or even MOPEC, right? Some of the owners might want to rent out first, right? Some of them have not decided. Some of them still feel that the market has still legs to run for another 1 year or so. So a lot of them might want to do rental. So don't neglect the rental. If there's a rental listing, please take, because the rental will be rented out very fast. And treat this as not a rental property. Treat this as still a client database. You have to collect client database. One fine day, this landlord will become your seller. This landlord may refer you some other deals. This landlord, you can serve his or her entire family. So we want to be every client's lifetime agent, right? We don't want to be continuously looking for new coal market. New coal market is important, but we cannot forget growing our existing pond of fishes, growing our existing database, because all these database can grow. If they like your service, if you give them your best, they will refer you clients, friends, right? And therefore, many referrals will come over time. Post-launch condo, right? This one segment that I hope do while there are still stocks, because there's not many stocks left, right? Prospect buyers on new launches, because new launches, the interest is higher. Even if you run PPC and things like that, Facebook, buyers will be keen to have click your ad and want ask for information, okay? But a lot of them will not be able to get their choice unit. The key word here is choice unit. If they just want to buy any unit, maybe they can. But most buyers will, steer towards a certain type or unit or stack or facing. So a lot of them will be disappointed, because we are talking about 500, 800, 1,000 checks fighting over 200 units. A lot of disappointment. And therefore, we must be able to what? We must be able to recommend them to a post-launch project. Because why? Post-launch projects normally, as of today, are still priced lower than upcoming launches. Secondly, most of them are already building halfway. The TOP date is earlier. So you can buy something that's still brand new, but you collect your keys earlier and the price is lower. So I think take advantage of this. Take advantage while there are still stocks, right? Once all this post-launch clear, right, it's all future launch prices and future TOP date. Okay, use this as an advantage to recommend post launches. Why I put certain? Because you cannot know the whole Singapore. You have to focus on a certain post launches that you know their unique selling angle. You know the advantage of the price point advantage. You also know the amenities very well, right? You know the layout very well. So when you bring your clients to the post launch projects, you can be able to advise them better, right? we cannot simply just bring them anywhere and everywhere, because we just don't have the capacity to understand every single launch out there in the market. So we need to select a few to recommend. And we have to manage our expectation, because why? Year 2021 is a record year, right? Just now you see the first few slides, right? It's a record year. This year, I won't say it's going to be a lot lesser or lower than last year, but it's going to be quite hard to beat. It's a very fantastic year last year, right? This year is going to be hard to beat last year. But if we want to compare this year and last year, it's just going to make us demoralized. So let's not compare. Let's not have this, wow, last year so good, this year, wow, until now, May already, June, still not yet hit my target, things like that. Because if we think like that, we are just demoralizing ourselves. Why not we spend this same energy, same effort to go and do more, network more, speak to more people, throw more flyers, spend more on your prospecting methods that you have selected, or even work longer hours. If you can do all this more, and if you can even earn the same income last year, it's already a very good year. It's already a very good year, right? If you want to beat last year, it's going to be a challenge. But even, which means what? This year, we just got to do more so that we have a chance to earn the income we have last year. Let's be very realistic. This year, if we are just to do the same or worse, do lesser, then this year is going to be very, very, very tough. This year is going to be very, very tough, because there are just going to be lesser volume. And because lesser volume equals to lesser transaction, equals to lesser commission. This is just the way it is. It's a very simple mathematics. Just we need to do more. And all of us, okay, must select a segment to perfect our craft. We improve bit by bit every day, make ourselves the more outstanding realtor out of 30,000 over agents in Singapore. And therefore, I just want to make this statement, okay, similar to the topic 99.co have organized. The extra mile, becoming the best agent for your clients. So I like this phrase, the extra mile. Extra mile means what? Don't do the bare minimum. If agent A do ABC, why not we do ABCD? Just do a bit more, so that we can become the best agent for our client. And when we become the best agent for our client, naturally, we want to learn a lot. We want to do a lot. We want to have a lot of knowledge, techniques, and a lot of good skill set. Our clients will find it very difficult to not use us. Our clients will find it very difficult to not refer someone else to us. Our clients will find it very difficult whenever they want to buy or sell a property, at least message us, because we give them the best. They enjoy our service, right? They benefit from our expertise. They want to experience that again, right? This is where we set ourselves apart from the 30,000 over agents. We just have to be the best of the very best. And then the clients, they will know. They will know. If they have a few agents, they will know which one is a winner. And they will always want to engage the winner, because people want to associate themselves with people who are successful. So I'd like to end this session with a quote from Warren Buffett. Only when the tide goes out do you discover who has been swimming naked. Last year, any new agent without any knowledge, or any experienced agent without spending too much effort, okay, can easily sell a house or serve a buyer to buy a house, because buyers want to buy, sellers want to sell, tenants want to rent, landlord want to lease. So it's just so easy, right? So no need skill. Last year, anyhow do, anyhow earn money. Correct or not? This year is different. This year it's become tighter, more challenging, lesser stock, price increased significantly. Okay, everything, whoever they want to buy already bought. This year is a bit getting more and more new policies, new this and that, new taxes and whatever it is. It's going to be a bit more tighter, I will put it, more challenging. And therefore, today, we cannot anyhow do anymore. We need to spend the time right? Like every one of you spending a time for the past so many minutes, right, to listen to a seminar. I thank you so much to upgrade ourselves to get new knowledge, new skill set, right, so that we can serve our clients better. So for that, thank you very much. This is the end of my session. Thanks once again, Nanya.co, for organizing this session. I hope this session has benefited you, right, and give you some ideas for your own business. Thank you so much.